Hi students, good morning. In our continuation of the class of cyber safety, this is the third video which is going to cover the unethical practices. So topic for the day is we are continuing with the unethical practices. We have already learned a few unethical practices in our last class. So in the last video, we have learned about plagiarism, then we have learned about cyberbullying and phishing. And today we are going to learn about hacking, spamming, individual right to privacy, software piracy. This is what is our topics which we are going to deal in today's class. First, let us see hacking. Hacking refers to an illegal intrusion into a computer system or network. So, if suppose an unknown person tries to open your system and tries to take your personal data, that illegal intrusion is called as hacking. The person who does is called the hacker. Hackers are highly technical people who secretly break into computers to steal or sometimes destroy important data. So you might have seen in some movies some hackers, some villains hire the hackers. They try to steal important data from the banks or some organization so that they can misuse it. So hackers usually tamper with data for unethical purposes. So they are doing it for unethical purposes. Hacking which is done for good cause, such as national security, etc., is known as ethical hacking. Hacking which is done. So you might have seen there are some police security and RAW or CBI which tries to investigate into some system and try to know why they are using it or if they misuse, where is it misused. So if that is done, then it is called ethical hacking. So it is done for a good cause. Hacking which is done for a good cause is what it is known as, it is such as national security is known as the ethical hack. So this is very very important. Always understand there is unethical and ethical. So when unethical is hacking, that is trying to illegally try to take the data is hacking. But in hacking also we have ethical hacking. That's very important. Another form of malicious cyber activity is cracking. That is called crackers. That is, other than cracking, we have crackers also. Our technical people who are experts in breaking into systems to steal important data such as financial details and passwords. So, especially these people, hackers try to steal data, but here these people try to take financial details and password. That is what they call and say, ma'am, we are giving you 5 crores of rupees. So, why don't you share your credentials like credit card form details, passwords, and all. So, where you should never be sharing all these details. So, these people are called crackers. Crackers also cause harm to computers by destroying data. So what happens once they get a hold of your data and in their control, you will not be able to access your cards, credit cards. So that is the reason why you should be very careful. You are not supposed to share any personal information, financial details with anybody on phone or through SMS also. They disturb application by spreading malwares and changing the program logic and output. So what happens is they try to disturb the whole application. Once they get access of all the information, they try to change all the program logic and the outputs. Now we have understood what is hacking. Let us see how to prevent the hacking. Keep your passwords secret and change them periodically. So we should always change our passwords. It doesn't mean you have to do it weekly. At least 3 months or 4 months in a while, you have to change your password. You should have different passwords. It should not be like your name or your date of birth. It should not be like easily they should not be able to guess the password. So frequently update your operating system and other software like antivirus. So your operating system antivirus programs has to be updated. Avoid using open Wi-Fi as it makes it easy for hackers to steal information and download inappropriate content to your system. So suppose you may visit a hotel and a restaurant, they give you a Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi. Don't try to access it because that free Wi-Fi is also free for the hackers also. So there might be people around who might try to use your Wi-Fi details, Wi-Fi details which is free, and try to hack your information. So you should be very careful while using open Wi-Fi. Always make use of secure websites by looking at the lock sign or HTTPS on the address bar. So any address on the address bar in your browser, that is Google Chrome or Mozilla Firefox, it should have HTTPS. So this is the one which shows it is secure. Or else there should be a lock symbol on the address bar. If you can see on the left side of the address, it will be there will be lock sign that makes the website secure. Always check permission and authenticity on the app before installing them. So whenever we are trying to install any software, you have to check the permissions and whether they are coming from the right product or not. Never store your credit card information on a website. So sometimes when we are trying to use your credit card information, like for example we are doing online shopping, so what happens, we try to store all this information. Okay, every now and then I should take my card, try to input all this, so we try to store it, but never do that, because that data which is stored in the computer, in our computer, can be hacked by some illegal person. It can be misused. So now, next we are going to learn about spamming. What is spam? Spam are unwanted bulk emails that comes from strange sources. So they send some bulk emails about some advertisement or some information about some courses and all. So you should never try to open any emails which are coming from unknown sources or strange sources. In spamming, millions of copies of the same message are sent to email users worldwide. So in spamming, what happens? There are millions of copies generated and sent to different emails. So that if any, out of millions, if some people try to respond, they can hack their information. Spam is a very serious security concern, as it can be used to deliver Trojan horses, viruses, worms, spyware, organized targeted phishing attacks. So, as we have already learned, there are some viruses which can be infected in your system when you open any file. So, the moment you open a spam email, there might be some attachment, and once you open the attachment may carry some viruses which can infect your system. So, you should be very careful not to open any mails which are coming from strange sources. Now, how do you identify spams? Messages that do not include email address in the to or CC fields are common forms. So, in to, like who has sent, it has to come. So, when you don't have email addresses in to or CC, then you can identify it as a spam. Some spam email can contain offensive languages or links to website with inappropriate content. So, if suppose it has some Greek language type or something which is not very much normal, then you should not be opening that, and it is actually a spam email. So this is the way you identify. So when you don't have email address for to or CC, or if suppose it has some offensive language, then you can consider it as a spamming, and that mail should not be opened. Now, how do you prevent spamming? Install spam filtering or blocking software. So you should install some software which blocks such a spamming, because it will, the software will identify, okay, this is not coming from a right source, so it should not be allowed into the inbox. If you suspect that an email is a spam, do not respond, just delete it. So when you feel, suppose you are receiving a mail, but you don't know who is the sender, you're not very much aware of it, then immediately delete it, don't open it. Reject all instant messages from the persons who are in a contact list. So when whatever instant messages you are receiving from the contact, apart from your contact list, you should always reject it. Do not click on the URL links within instant messages unless it is received from a known source. See, until unless you don't know, you are not going to open any link. Usually you might have also seen when your parents are out, they say, please don't open the door for any unknown person. We will not send you. Even if you send you, we will ring you up and let you know. So that is the same way here also. You should be very careful. You should not open any links which is coming from an unknown source. Keep the software and security patches up to date. So all the softwares and security, that is antiviruses or malware, should always be updated, so that it tries to identify the latest viruses and tries to keep your system safe from all the types of different attacks. The next third one is individual right to privacy. So every individual, every citizen has a right to privacy. That is, you can't be forced to share all your personal data. That is the reason why the bank employees always keep sending messages not to share any personal information. The internet is commonly used for various purposes, such as for personal communication, accessing information on any topic, for financial transactions, etc. So we are using internet for many things, for personal communication like emails or WhatsApp or Facebook, for accessing information like we try to search information for many topic, or we do financial transactions. The use of internet can affect the privacy rights and personal data of a person. So the moment, see, internet is the one which is giving you lot many facilities, but at the same time it is also very insecure. You should be very careful when you are trying to share information personal information, especially your financial details like credit card details or PIN card, or your any personal detail should not be given to any unknown website or unknown persons. Privacy issues come into picture when personal information is collected, used, and shared without the consent of the authorized person or the business concerned. So, whenever all this information actually you don't share, but people try to illegally try to capture all this information. So, that is a place where your privacy actually is at a risk. So, you should be very careful. You should not try to load all these personal data or financial details into a website. When you're trying to log in, every time you have to give your details. Don't try to save it thinking that okay, I can save some. No, it is not saving time. It is actually risking yourself. Your privacy will be at a issue. Now, how do you protect the privacy? Be careful while sharing your personal profile on the social networking sites. So you should avoid sharing your personal details on your professional social networking site like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Try to keep it a little like less, not details. Every detail you should not share it. Never share your login details with anyone. You should never share the login details with anyone because you can't be sure people can misuse it. Delete the sensitive data when not in use. When you're not using any sensitive data is financial data on the any website. Never click on a link sent to you via text or email from a stranger. So whenever you receive any SMS saying this is the link, please send your details. We are going to deposit 5 crores rupees. You have one. See, when you have not applied for any lottery, or when you are not aware from somebody gives you, how can you believe? So you should never try to click on such a link which you receive through email or text. Protect your online privacy by disabling the cookies in the web browser being used. So whenever you are having a problem in the web browser, you have cookies. Cookies tries to show the username password. So you should always try to disable it so that the people cannot take these. So if you disable the cookies, what happens? It will never store the username and password, and your data will be protected. A cookie, what is actually a cookie? A cookie is a small text file stored on your computer's browser directory that collects the information of your online activity and reports back to the host. So whatever activity you're doing through the Google Chrome or the Mozilla Firefox, all the data, like what is the text you are usually trying to search. You might have seen the moment I say A, automatically all the things which you have searched through A will be visible. So that is that all that details are stored as a cookie in your browser. So that can be hacked by the hacker or the cracker. Install security software like antivirus, anti-spyware, or firewall software to protect your system against intrusion and infection. Antivirus, as you know, it will try to identify any viruses and try to attack if it is infecting your system. Anti-spyware, it is tries to check the website which are not right and which there is a insecurity, then it will not allow it. Firewalls, it is trying to check all the software which are downloaded, are they correct or not. If it is coming from a wrong website, or the software is not right, it will not allow to be installed in your system. Lock up your system when not in use. So when you're not in use, it is always better to keep your sign outs. So you should never keep your emails or anything sign in. You should, the moment you finish your work, you should always sign out from the mail ID. The next thing is software privacy. When software is copied and distributed illegally, it is called as software privacy. So that is when we are trying to install. So software piracy, when software is copied and distributed illegally, it is called as software piracy. So when suppose you might have heard this term when you are doing about movies. So when we try to see movies, many people try to, all our heroes and heroines say, please don't stop software piracy, because a license or a copyright is required to copy the genuine programs of someone else. So actually the original directors or the heroes, they will have their own copyright copies. Only that we have to buy. So when you go buying the software like MS Office or any movie CDs, outside it will be costly. So what we think, okay, why, let's go into website, right? But all that actually is called software piracy, because they try to copy it illegally. Okay, we should not be it is illegally is copied from some other source, and it is a copyright actually for the owner who has actually genuinely created it. So you should not be supporting and you should not be downloading such software into your system. Now, how do you the measures to prevent the software piracy is Buy the licensed copy of software, follow the terms and the condition of the license for each software product for your purchase. So whenever you want to install, let us say, antivirus or MS Office or any operating system, it is always better to buy a licensed copy of the software and try to install. Rather, you say your system, your friend has given a CD which is copied from some other system, that becomes a software piracy, and it will lead to lot of problem, because software piracy, again, the software is not reliable. It may infect your system. Purchase software CDs from a reputed seller to ensure that it is a genuine. So always try to buy the CDs from a reputed seller, not from any shop. Avoid using illegal CDs given by your friend to listen to your music or watch movies. It is, if the software is available online, download it directly from the manufacturer's website. So you should not be downloading any software from any website. It should be like, suppose I have MS Office. So MS Office, there is a specific website which is there. From there only you should be downloading. Or antivirus, McAfee or Norton. You have a manufacturer's website. From there only you should be downloading. So this way we can avoid software piracy. So in today's class, we have learned about unethical practices, about what is hacking. Then we have learned about what is spamming and individual rights to privacy and software piracy. So these are the unethical practices which the system can actually get infected if suppose it is not followed properly. So you should be very careful when you are trying to download any software or when you are trying to share your personal information on the internet. I hope you have understood. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe.